Hi guys, this is Heather at Homeschool Culture, and today I'm going to continue with the struggles that we have as a stay-at-home mom, homeschool mom, potentially even work-at-home mom. And so today I'm going to give you 10 tips on things that you can do to help you just get it all done and stay sane while doing it. Okay, so tip number one is you really need to prioritize. Those priorities could be, time with the Lord in the morning. It could be getting the academics done, the lessons done first. Your health could be a top priority. The health of your children, keeping a clean home, whatever that priority is for you, you need to really prioritize it so that you know the way it's going to be most functional for you in your home. So tip number two is going to be routine. And I know this is on everybody's tips. Someone always talks about routine and schedule, but it's paramount. You have to have a good routine so that you know, again, what to do next. So like an example of this might be getting your lessons done by lunch. That might be part of your routine. And it's definitely true for younger kids. Of course, with the older kids, it might be a little different. And that kind of brings me to the next point of this tip is you really need to be adaptable within the seasons of life. So sometimes you're going to, and even within the seasons of the year, my routine does look different. So that's just things to think about as you're trying to capture that idea of what your routine's gonna look like. Tip three is meal planning and meal prepping. And when I say meal plan, meal prep, I mean breakfast, snack, lunch, snack again, dinner, and of course, snack again. Because if you're like my children, my kids eat all day long. But if you plan ahead of time and you have a good idea of what you are going to have, and you even have some of that already maybe meal prepped or most of it meal prepped, it's going to make your day function so much better. It's going to make your week function so much better. And you're going to see that you're actually going to get more done. Okay, so as I'm going through all these tips, know that some of these, like the routine and meal planning, meal prep, I'm going to have actual videos coming up soon on those specific tips. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And don't forget the notification bell because it does matter so that you will get updated videos when they come out. All right, so tip number four, get your kids in the kitchen. My son is 9, and about a year ago, he came to me and was like, I want to learn how to cook eggs because he loves eating eggs. We have chickens in the backyard. We have fresh eggs every day. He wanted to learn how to fry an egg, and so we taught him, and it was nothing for him. I mean, he does it almost every day. Now, my daughter, on the other hand, prefers scrambled eggs, and so part of our routine is for breakfast in the morning, we kind of have our go-tos, and eggs is one of them. So one day my son will make fried eggs for her and him, and then the next day my daughter will make the scrambled eggs. Another way to look at it is it's life skills. These are skills that you want them to have throughout life. And I will say this, I grew up not knowing how to cook. I never was taught how to cook. And so I love watching my kids get in the kitchen now. My daughter loves to bake, and so she always comes and asks if she can make like oatmeal bakes or cookies and things like that. I actually plan for her to make a meal maybe once or twice a week. And because she likes that mark-off sheet, she likes to be able to highlight whenever she completes something. It's just accountability for her. She always asks and requests me to actually put those things on her daily mark-off sheet. So that's just another tip that might work well for those students who really do like that to-do list. Okay, tip number 5 is get up every day for the most part at the same time. Now, I know a lot of people will say get up early and that more successful people get up early, etc. I don't know that that's true or not, so I'm not going to tell you to do that. I know I'm a morning person, and so when I get up early and get going, I get a lot more done that day. But I have friends who are very much night owls, and they're just the opposite. They can get tons of stuff done in the evening time. And so do whatever works best for you, but be consistent. Even through all of these tips, be consistent, and you'll see over time that it just becomes almost second nature to you. And so set those alarm clocks, I set mine for between 6 and 6:30. So if I notice that I'm going to bed more like 10:15, then I'll definitely set that alarm for 6:15 just so I can try to get those 8 hours in. But do whatever works for you. And then also I will say set bedtimes and rise times for your kiddos as well. And just know that waking up at a certain time every day, it might be a little different on the weekends, or like for me, my husband works out of town 4 days a week. And so whenever he is home here, he wants to sleep in a little bit. And so of course, I'm not going to wake him up with an alarm clock. So you just have to figure out what works best for you and your family. Tip number 6, I think is so valuable. Build in downtime into your routine. And so, of course, you're going to build your whole routine and you're going to figure that out. And it will take some time to do. but build in downtime in your routine, whether that's 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever that looks like for you, build that downtime in. My number one reason for me is I have insomnia sometimes, and I will wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and I won't go back to bed till 4 or 5. If I'm consistent and I still set my alarm at 6, I might be exhausted. I'm not going to lie. But then I know I have that downtime after, because I do mine right after lunch. I have that downtime after lunch that if I need to go take a nap, lessons are done, I fed the kids, and I can go take naps. Also, of course, it works well for little kids to have downtime. It works well for big kids. You know, going to their room for 30 minutes to an hour, maybe even 2 hours, depending on the age, and having them read their book or play quietly. For the older kids, you know, finish lessons that they can do independently can really help out mom get maybe some extra sleep that she didn't get the night before. Also, you can do those downtime hours or downtime, depending on how long you want to schedule it. You can do play dates during that time. That could be the time that you go to the grocery store. So when I say downtime, I guess I'm really saying it's not schoolwork necessarily, and it's not like at home getting stuff done, cleaning or whatever. So you're actually having a block of time in your day where kind of anything goes, whatever I need to get done. Another thing I do during my downtime is this right here. I do YouTube videos. So me and my son finished our lessons. We had lunch. I did a few chores. So he's in the other room doing arts and crafts during this downtime, and I am getting to make this video. Tip number 7 is have your kiddos help in chores. So not just in the kitchen, which I think is so valuable, but also help in your everyday activities. So we live on a homestead here, so my daughter gets up. So she's in charge of getting the dogs out of the kennel and fed, letting the chickens out. We have baby chicks right now, so she also does that as well. My son a lot of times will do the breakfast, and then we have chores throughout the day. So like we just got through doing laundry, and then today is Thursday, so my kiddos are going to be cleaning house because we clean house on Thursdays and Fridays. So just that kind of thing. You want to get your kids involved. Again, it's those life skills that they're really not ever too young for the most part to learn. Even little toddlers can still, take a dustpan and sweep up a mess. Get those skills developed early. Just talk to them about having a nice, organized, clean home, etc. Even my daughter, she loves it. She's gotten to the point now where there's a lot of times if there's a mess that I don't even notice, I don't have to ask her to clean it up. She'll go and sweep it up anyways because she wants to have a clean home as well. So it's just instilling those values. All right, tip 8 kind of can go with routine, but really not, because I kind of think of I don't know, sometimes I think of routine and schedule, I can interchange the words, but my schedule, I really think of I have a schedule for my kids' homeschool day. It's not like rigorous, you do this at this time or whatever, but it's still like a mark-off sheet schedule. And then my routine is kind of where those big blocks of time fall into place. I encourage you to schedule out your week every day. And so like on your downtime, again, if you plan on having a play date during that time, or you plan on going to the grocery store at this time, or you have piano lessons or whatever. And then another trick that just kind of helps, especially on gas, because gas is so expensive right now, is I try to, for me, because we live a little bit outside of town, I try to make sure I schedule like grocery shopping, play dates, anything that I can kind of all at on one day or maybe 2 days, so that I'm not having to drive back and forth to town so much. That is something that helps me save on gas, but then also, not come up on that day and kind of freak out because, oh my gosh, I don't have as much time as I think because I have this to do or this to do. Also, kind of along the same line, it's in the same tip. So this is what I do for like doctor's appointments or anything like that. I schedule on our week off from homeschool. So we are a year-round family, and I'm not going to tell you that we go 6 weeks on, 1 week off. We've done that. 4 weeks on, 1 week off. We've done that. But now I make sure I have 32 to 36 weeks, depending. This is kind of its own video. So I'll backtrack and just say, let me know down below, is that a video that you're interested in? Because I feel like I've gotten in a rhythm of taking off time that works for me. But back to the tip. If I'm going to schedule doctor's appointments, if I'm going to schedule anything like that, I'm going to do it on the weeks I have off, because I don't want it to interrupt, unless we're going out of town or something, because I don't want it to interrupt our natural routine and flow. So that's something to think about as well. I even do it to the point of, if like I have a doctor's appointment for my son coming up next week, he's broken his arm twice the same arm. That's a whole nother story. But we have a doctor's appointment next Monday for that. And I just said, you know what, we're going to take off the whole week, because just that one doctor's appointment on Monday will just kind of spiral into the week. So, and it's been a while since we took one off. So I've just decided we're going to take off the whole week next week. Okay, tip number 9, and it took me a long time to do this because I've told y'all this before, I came from being a school teacher, which, we had a bell, for every 45 minutes to an hour. And so my day was very much planned out. I definitely have learned over the years of being a stay-at-home mom and a homeschool mom is you have to be adaptable. You can't, well, for me, I can't be so rigorous. It has to happen this way. Otherwise, I feel like it kind of just hinders my relationships with our kids because, our life is so fluid and it's so, it moves and changes, etc. And so I have learned over the years to be very, very adaptable, to know that my routine that day might not look exactly like it should or like it normally does. And then that's okay. So give yourself grace, give your kids grace. If things happen and it kind of throws you off for the week, then that's okay. And that's kind of like I said last tip, why I choose to take, if I know I'm going to have doctor's appointments, I choose to take off that week just because it just works out best for me. Now, if you have a kiddo that maybe has to go to the doctor more frequent, then you'll just, schedule that into your routine so that it works out for you as well. I guess kind of a bonus tip, if you want to say a tip number 10, get into the Bible every day. Lean on the Lord for help. Grow that relationship with the Lord. Listen to the conviction of the Holy Spirit. And I promise you, He will help you throughout the day. Pray all day. I tell my kids that all the time. Stop and pray. If you're having something wrong, you don't understand something, stop and pray, and He will help you through your day and through the situation. So yeah, that's my tip number 10. So let me know down below, what other tips do you have? What am I missing that you're like, Heather, you didn't say this and it worked so well? Because I would love to know that. And then also let me know, are you a big meal prepper or a meal planner? And if you're not, are you looking forward to that video? Because I'm looking forward to doing it. So on that note, I hope you have a super blessed day and a blessed week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.